Good morning, kindergarten readers and scientists. It's Miss Tan here. I have a book that I'm going to share with you today. This week we're going to be learning a little bit about how plants grow and change and how they look different in the different stages of their life cycle. So I'm going to start today with a book about seeds. Now, I love this book and I can't wait to share it with you, so listen in, okay? The book is titled A Seed is Sleepy. Have you thought about that? How seeds are kind of like plants, but plants that are sleeping, okay? And so this book is going to be all about different kinds of seeds and how they grow and what they need to survive. So I'm looking forward to sharing this book with you today. A Seed is Sleepy. Now the illustrations in this book, that means the pictures, are really, really excellent. And we get to see probably some different plants that you've seen before. And you get to see what they look like as seeds before they actually grow up into the plants that you know. All right? You might be familiar with some of the seeds that you see in here, okay? Now, if you see a seed that you've seen before, you can just give me a little thumbs up like that, right? Or you can show me that you've made a connection, okay? Whenever we see something that we've seen in another book or we've seen in our real life, we're making connections. So you can show me with your fingers that you're making a connection, okay? Let's go ahead and let's start the book. So here we go. A seed is sleepy. Now remember, I don't show you it right away. I'm going to read the words first. You use your imagination. You picture it in your head to see what you think it's going to look like. And then we'll check and see. So the first, right here inside the front cover, I want you to take a look at that. Those are all different kinds of seeds. We think, oh, a seed, but they all look different depending on the plant that they come from. A seed is sleeping. Here's our title page. Yeah. Now, I used to love these seeds when I was a kid. So I just made a connection because I have a memory of these seeds falling out of the tree. And I used to call them helicopter seeds because they'd spin to the ground like a helicopter. And we would actually grab them and throw them up in the air again to make them come down like a helicopter again. It was really, really fun. But these are called Japanese maple seeds. So it's from a Japanese maple tree. Isn't that neat? A seed is sleepy. It lies there, tucked inside its flower, or in its cone, or beneath the soil, snug and still. Can you hold real still like that, like a seed, all tucked in and all snug? Just like that. Here it shows. This is part of the head of the sunflower. After the petals have gone away, the seeds begin to grow. And we see down here that some of the seeds have fallen, and look at that, they're snuggled into the soil. How awesome, right? If you've seen something like that, show me that you've made a connection. Some of you have maybe ate sunflower seeds before. Delicious. A seed is secretive. Do you know what it means to be secretive? To kind of keep a secret. Are you good at keeping good secrets? That's awesome. It does not reveal itself too quickly. Most seeds sleep through a season or two, waiting for the warmer temperatures of spring. Hey, it's spring right now. I think a lot of seeds have been waiting for this time of year, don't you? But some take their time. 10 years might pass before the bright red-orange seed of the Texas mountain laurel shows its purple blooms. So here we have The Texas mountain laurel tree. You've probably seen some of those in your neighborhood. They have these beautiful flowers on them, beautiful purple flowers and little green leaves. And here we see the Texas mountain laurel seeds. They're bright red like that, but they're very, very special. You know why? They take up to 10 years of sitting in the soil and just sleeping and just waiting for that right moment to sprout and become a tree. They need just the right circumstances. Isn't that awesome? How neat. So secretive. A seed is fruitful. 90% of the plants on earth are flowering plants. Flowering plants produce fruits of all shapes and textures that keep the seeds cozy until they have found the right place to grow. And here it shows some different fruits. You might recognize some of these. Do you recognize that one? Blueberries. But those seeds are protected inside or by a fruit of some kind. This one's kind of silly, but I know you guys are super mature and you can handle it, right? Yeah, we've talked about that before. This one says, a seed is naked. That means that it doesn't have any covering. It doesn't have any fruit over it or anything. It's just a seed right there. Who would guess that a seed as small as a freckle would grow into the world's tallest tree? Only 10% of redwood trees begin as seeds, though. Most redwood trees spring from existing trees. So a seed is naked. Yes, naked. Scientists call them gymnosperms. Seeds that aren't clothed in fruit, naked seeds. Most naked seeds hide themselves on the scales of cones until they're ready to make a dash for the ground. Now this is what's really, really cool, because here we can see, right, the cone. This is the cone developing. Here's the cone. Inside those little flaps like that, the cone starts to open up, and the seed is right there on the inside. Now, this tiny little seed, about that big, very tiny, very, very tiny. I want you to take a look at this. That tiny little naked seed grows. This is a person. In real life size, this would be a person. This is how tall the tree grows. Guys, that's 350 feet tall. That's amazing. From a tiny, tiny little seed that could fit inside your little fingers, giant tree. Nature's amazing, don't you think? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Seeds come in many sizes. The orchid seed is the smallest of all. There might be 1 million seeds in one pod. The seed of the Coco de Mer palm is the largest. It can weigh up to 60 pounds. That's more than most of you, I think. Take a look. There's the orchid seed, so tiny. 1 million. Right there in just the one pod. And then here's this big giant seed. 60 pounds. That weighs more than you weigh. That's a big seed. Crazy. I didn't even know that. New fact to me. I love learning new things. A seed is adventurous. Do you like adventure? Did you know that some seeds are adventurous too? That's crazy. It must strike out on its own in search of a less crowded place to put down roots. Hey, wait a second. Remember when we were talking about plant needs earlier? Sunlight, water, soil, and space. So some seeds are adventurous. They have to find their own place to grow. They can't grow right next to each other. They have to have space. A parachute of fine silky hairs can take a dandelion seed 100 miles from its parent plant. So that's how all of those dandelions got in my yard. They might have come from 100 miles away. They can float on the wind. Look at all those different kinds of seeds. Oh, there's that helicopter seed again from the Japanese maple. Yeah. Drift seeds float on ocean currents from one shore to another. They have enough air inside to help them float. And their thick, protective shells keep out the seawater. Now, there's a lot of these seeds. Look at all of these different seeds that use the ocean to move away from their parent plant. Isn't that amazing? I didn't know there were so many. I bet there's even more than that. It's very diverse nature. That's amazing. All those float on the ocean water and they go to a different island or a different shore somewhere. And then they sprout and grow. A seed is inventive. Have you heard that word before? To invent something, to come up with a new idea? You all are very inventive, I know that. But I've never thought of a seed as inventive. Let's find out. To find a spot to grow, a seed might leap from its pod. Leap? Or cling to a child's shoestring. Have you had one of those before? Those little, they grab onto your shoestrings and... Or tumble through a bear's belly. We've talked about that before. A seed hopes to land where there's plenty of sunlight, soil, and water. And you know that, right? You've learned about that. So this seed, when it's finally ready, it goes pew, and it pops out and it flies out so that it lands far away from the parent plant. And look at that. Those little, call them little burrs. They have like little hooks that hook onto your shoestrings or your pant legs or whatever they can hook onto. Yep. And this one, the bear eats it. Remember we talked about that in another book. Bear might eat the fruit, the seeds in there, poops it out somewhere else. It's just nature. It's how it is. Look at that. It's amazing. A seed is generous. It gives the baby plant a seed coat to keep it warm. The seedling's first meal comes from its seed leaves, or cotyledons. Seeds with one seed leaf, like corn, are called monocots, and seeds with two seed leaves, like beans, are called dicots. So here it shows. Take a look at all of those different plant life cycles. Here we have the bean seed in the ground, and it sprouts and grows all the way till it produces more bean seeds. There we have, I gotta look at it, rice. Yum, I like rice. Rice grows and grows and grows till it makes more rice. Pumpkin seed. Got some of those growing in my garden right now. Makes a pumpkin, and we know there are lots of seeds inside that pumpkin, right? We've made those observations in science class. This is a slash pine. Remember that little pine seed? And it grows and grows. This one's only 8 years old. This one's only 15 years old. We know it gets huge. And this is a teak tree seed. And it grows and grows. And that's 100 years from now. Isn't that amazing? Look at all those. I love it. And here they show a bean seed. And inside here, whatever the seed needs to sprout and grow, all of the nutrients in that, until it can get its roots in the soil to get its nutrients, and the sun and the water and everything like that, as that seed is waking up, it uses all of this stuff in here as its food. It's like it's carrying its own little lunchbox or something. Some seeds are ancient. Do you know what ancient means? It means very, very old. Not all seeds are eager to germinate or to grow. Some have lain dormant or slept undisturbed for more than 1,000 years. The oldest known seed to sprout came from an extinct date palm tree. After it was unearthed from a long ago king's mountaintop palace in Israel, a scientist planted it. Might as well, right? See if it grows. 4 weeks later, it sprouted. That's a really ancient seed. That's kind of cool. Can you imagine sleeping for 1,000 years? I can't. A seed is thirsty and hungry. Once a seed has shed its coat, it drinks in the rain, the dew, and yesterday's icicles. In places where it snows, when those icicles melt, they turn into water, right? Seeds drink that up. It feasts on minerals in the soil. So here we see that plant life cycle again. The seed begins to sprout. Whoop, there are those little feeder leaves, right? They're thick, they're big, and that's what the plant uses until it can develop its roots. See, it used them all up. Then here's a corn plant. That's what it looks like. And the corn plant begins to grow. That is so neat. Plant life cycle is amazing. It's fun to watch. A seed is clever. Plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. Inside plant leaves are cells containing chemicals that absorb the sunlight. Light gives them the energy they need to turn water and carbon dioxide, a gas in the air, into food. It knows to seek the sunlight, to push itself up, up, up through the soil. But it must wait a while before that happens. So there it is. There's the sun. Those leaves are reaching out, trying to get as much sunlight as they can so they can make their own food. A seed is sleepy, but only until it has found a place in the sun and it has had its breakfast and a drink of water. Then a seed is awake. And there is the sunflower that grew from that seed. Isn't that awesome? Sunflowers are so beautiful. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this book today. I'll show you the last little page here. Remember all those seeds in the first part of the book? Well, here they have sprouted and they're starting to grow into the plants and follow that plant life cycle. I hope you'll take a little time to research this week about the plant life cycle, and I hope that you have enjoyed the book A Seed is Sleepy. I really enjoyed reading it to you. I miss you, scientists and readers. I hope you have a great day and a great week. Bye.